brother and I came out here a couple days ago, set up 3 or 4 stands on some places we saw some good sign, and right now I'm sitting on one with the wind coming at my face here. Behind me I've got a creek. You might be able to hear the creek running, and then it drops off of an embankment, and so I'm hoping my scent gets carried back behind me there. And out here in front of me at about 15 yards I got a heavily walked trail. It's got a scrape already on this far left side. It's a little out of sight from me right here. And our property here it's only about 40 acres, so it's not where the deer are bedded, and it doesn't really hold deer, but it is a travel zone. Like, it's a highway for them, and we got 2 ponds on it, so they definitely hit this for their water, and they use it as like a little corridor to move from bedding area to bedding area. And so I'm hoping here tonight I can see one. I've got all the gear, I've got all the camera gear, so I'm hoping to get something on film here. Right now it's 5 o'clock, and sunset's at about 7 tonight. So hopefully we see one tonight, and thanks for staying tuned.
I can't believe you just stood right up and she just slashing her tail. That's it.
Yeah, she couldn't see us probably with this backdrop. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I have my bottom sight at 55 and she popped up at 54. Oh, it felt good. It looked low. Like I have the lighted knocks on them.
Yeah, I think so too.
It looked low, but the sound was nice. It sounded like it popped. It sounded like diaphragm. I called that too. I knew I saw them out here, and I knew they had been bedding up there at the top of this crest. They can see the access the road from it. They can see, if you can turn around here, they can see everything down into here. Everything that's down there. So it's a great vantage point for them. They got this open field so they can see if anything is coming at them. It's long enough grass that they can bed in. And I was wondering if she was going up there to make a bed for the night. We got, let's see what time it is. We've got probably 10 minutes left. We have 17 minutes left of shooting light. So we'll definitely let her sit. She went back down into these woods here. Probably down to bed. So we'll give her some time. We'll go and try and find my arrow here quick, just to see what type of shot I had. I'm still shaking. Hopefully there's some bubbles on it. Oh my goodness. I couldn't believe she stood there and let us get a shot. Did you get her in frame?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard with the light,
it's low light. Right,
but it looks cool because you could mostly see her ears and then her tail flashing up.
Definitely a lot further than I'd like to take it though, but she wasn't moving. She was standing perfectly broadside, and I wasn't going to shoot if she was going to move, but she let me sit there for a long time and really get set into my position, and I felt like I got a really good shot off. Alright, yeah, let's go check this arrow out. So we're up here on the arrow. It looks like my lighted knock broke off here. There is bubbles in the blood, and there's a lot of blood on it, a full pass through. Yep, there's bubbles for sure. Let's see, let's check out one point. I'm not sure why the arrow is down into the ground like this, if it went off of something. That's some good signs. I like to see that. A lot of blood. I might follow blood for a little bit here while we got a little bit of light in our favor. Alright guys, she only made it about 30-40 yards from where I shot her, and it is a perfect long shot through both sides, and so yeah, she didn't make it far. She died pretty quick, so that's what we like to see. I wasn't going to take it if she moved. She was standing perfectly broadside, and she let me sit there for a solid 15-20 seconds to really like get into position and lock in. And yeah, the shot felt clean. It felt good, and we heard a clean shot. When I saw where I saw my arrow's trajectory, though, I don't know if it's because it started out so high, but she had grass in between us a little bit. But I knew my arrow was going to be covering where the grass was, and then on the backside it was going to be fine where she was going to be. And where my arrow started out looked high and looked good, and then where it ended, I thought it was low, and I thought it like clipped her belly. But as we see right here, it was a perfect shot. We do get quite a few does that move through here, and we just wanted to come here and sit for an evening and see if we couldn't get one to help load the freezer for this winter. And so we definitely did that, and it was a great hunt. I mean, we started out with sitting in the stand thinking that we'd see them, and they came through and winded us a little bit and kind of bounced out on the outskirts of where we were sitting up and where we thought they'd be. And we immediately made the switch. They gave us enough light to make a decision to try and get in front of them, knowing this property and knowing how it works and where it funnels deer. We were able to get down out of the stands, climb down, and bounce out around them and try and cut them off with knowing where I thought they were going to be bedding for the night. And so we were able to sneak up on them, use the wind to our advantage, and pop up over this hill, hoping that they'd be bedded on the backside or getting ready to bed down. And she was standing there right when we came up over the hill. She was just standing there right where we thought she'd be, and all she did was just kind of flick her tail at us. We bent back down, and I drew while I was bent down, and then I was able to like lift up slowly, and I believe Linnea got it on camera. she was able to lift up as well and get the shot on footage. And so, yeah, it was a crazy hunt, and I'm glad we made a good shot, an ethical hunt. So yeah, I'm stoked. It was great. It's not a buck, but like it doesn't matter. It still got my heart racing. I was shaking. It was a long shot for me. I mean, I think I gunned it at 54. I said earlier, and so like that's definitely pushing my comfort zone. And I would not have taken it if she wasn't standing so still, and if I had the amount of time to really lock in on the pin. And yeah, it felt good, and that just like that in itself it's an amazing way to hunt. And I'm glad we decided to make the move, knowing that we still had about 45 minutes of light. We weren't attached to our first decision of staying in the stands, and I think that's like a key to some of the hunting, especially when you're on public land, is you got to be able to move and you got to be able to adapt to what the deer are doing. And there's a lot of times that I see people that are just sitting up on the same stands in their private properties as well, the stand that they've had there for 20 years because they shot a buck out of it 15 years ago. And so you got to be able to adapt, and you got to be able to move to where they're doing and what they're doing on that night. Or the way the wind's blowing is a key factor of what I try and focus in on, and where I want to sit. And I don't use scent proof clothes, or I don't scent cover and stuff like that. I just try to play the wind, and it seemed to work out for tonight. We were able to make an adjustment on the fly and come up here and able to cut her and another doe off, knowing that we might have a shot. I was hoping to get closer than what we did, but she spotted us before then, and yeah, it was just a great way to hunt. All right, so we got her back to the shed, and when we flipped her over out in the field, I was actually able to see that my shot, this was the side that she was facing us. My shot was actually, she had this front leg back towards us like this, and I was trying to tuck it in here, and I knew that if I did hit her shoulder that I'd be fine. I've been shooting fixed blades, and that's a big reason why I shoot fixed blades, guys, is because when I do hit a bone or a shoulder like that, I have a better feeling that this is going to actually go through than a mechanical opening up and flying weird, one side opening up and catching and turning the wrong way. And on the back side, it was a perfect exit wound, right where I wanted it. And so I'm shooting the G5 Striker V2s, the new ones that came out this year. They have replaceable blades, and it's a fixed blade, and it went at 55 yards, it went right through this doe's shoulder. Perfect exit wound on the backside, took out the vitals, and that's exactly what I want out of a broadhead. And I couldn't ask much more for something like this. It had a true fly pattern. We had a little crosswind tonight, and it didn't seem to affect it at all. So that's what I'm shooting, and that's the reason why. And it's great to see that come to a realization and like see it happen in the field and see how it does actually help you. So that's what I shoot, fixed blade, G5 Strikers, and that's what worked tonight for me, and that's what got it done.